So go ahead and stand up and find a comfortable stance with your legs. So feeling the earth underneath your feet. And I like to have a little bit of distance. So I'm just slightly wider than my hips. So I could kind of bend my knees and have a good distance between my feet and feel really solid onto the earth. Yeah. And then we'll take a big inhale and you reach your arms on up overhead. And then reach up really strongly through the fingertips and then come up onto the toes. Like so. Yeah, beautiful. Balancing and almost coming off. So feeling pressing down into the feet, reaching up to the fingertips. And then with an exhale, when you're ready, you drop the heels and you just start a little shaking. So I somehow hurt my right shoulder, so maybe a little gentle with my arms, but you can make your shaking as big as you need it to be. Remember to vocalize, so have some sighs come out of the mouth and some noises come out so that throat really is moving and stuff gets to exit out through the mouth. And then take some attention to the feet. So feel the bottoms of the feet. Kind of tapping, running the feet up and down. Lifting the heels up, the toes, shaking the knees. Feel that energy rise up from the feet to through the shins to the knees, back and forth, moving the knees back and forth and in and out. Little kicks with the legs. And then the thighs, shaking the thighs out. And then wiggling the hips. Make sure you get your booty jiggle in. Make little circles. And the belly. I like to do a little twist. You know, let's do this one, which is really nice. Just kind of slapping the arms side to side while you're bouncing. And then the chest and the shoulders. Right, the shoulders are often places where a lot of sticky energy lives. So really making sure that you're flinging the wrists and the elbows, getting the shoulder blades involved. Make some sounds. Maybe bang on your chest. And then the head and the neck. So gently, but moving the head and the neck around. You get up to the crown chakra. Make some toning. Some sounds through the throat. Going. Stick the tongue out. And then the whole thing. Everything shaken. So another minute here. Just getting it all out. About 30 more seconds. Just long enough to think, oh my man, this is hard. 10 more seconds. And then when you're ready, pause, breathe, be still. The hands rest either on the belly or palms facing up along the sides of your body. Feel into the earth. So feeling your feet against the earth as if you could press down, root down through the floor, rising up through the crown of the head. And then let the hands start to float up with the palms facing down in front of you. Just finding like as if the air pushed your arms up. And then as your exhale comes in, your arms float away as if they're being pressed away. And then inhale, they rise up. And then flick the wrists out, flick. And then press the air down along the sides. And again, we'll do that 2 more times, letting the arms float up, palms down. Open the air out. Palms turn up. They rise up overhead, gathering, drawing together. And then flick the wrists and the palms face down and the arms come down. Last one. Arms float up. And we open. We rise up. And we flick and we press down. And then letting the hands rest on the belly, taking a few breaths here. It's breathing. It's noticing the residual vibration, the body, the breath, the sensation, the energies. And releasing the hands. And if you have your candle, you're going to go ahead and light the candle. Kind of starting the ceremony for the circle. And you can have the candle in the center, or you can set it off to the side. Either way is fine. So figuring out which way is north, which way is east, right? So for me, that's this way towards the heart. So I'm going to start with my back facing that way, but you'll still be able to hear me. So facing east. And you're taking a moment and just grounding into the earth, finding your feet. Your hands can be at the heart center, the belly, or whatever feels resonant to you. Connect to the earth underneath you. Feel the crown of your head. And then when you're ready, taking your hands to the palms facing towards the east, either using these words or something similar that resonates with you. I call on the east, the element of wind and air, of change, of clearing. May you guide me and bless this circle. And then with your hands, feeling that drawing in of the circle on the east. And then you turn to the right when you're ready. You feel the earth underneath you, feel the crown. So this should be south. Calling on the south, the element of fire, of warmth, nourishment, transformation. Please guide me in this circle. And add your blessing to this work. Feeling that south end of the circle be filled in through the energy of your hands. When you're ready, turning to the right again, facing west. When you're ready, using these words or words that resonate with you, calling in the west, element of water, refreshing, clearing, sustenance, life, creativity, fluidity, sensuality. May you guide me in this circle and offer your blessings. And again, feeling in through your hands, filling in the circle. And then last pivot to the right, to the north. And as you're ready, you call in to the north the element of earth, of grounding, of strength, endurance, this body of nurturing. Please join me in this circle. Offer me your blessing. Feeling in that element. And then facing whichever way you're comfortable, you can face back towards the screen, feel your earth underneath, stamp onto the earth a couple of times, press down with your hands, filling in the below, the Panchamama, the earth mama goddess. So not the element of earth, but the goddess divine energy of earth. And feeling that root down. Dear beautiful earth goddess mother, please offer me your guidance and blessing in this circle, stability and strength and endurance, and your eternal wisdom. You feel that element fill in underneath your feet. And from that strength of the earth through the feet, we draw up through the body, shins, knees, thighs, pelvis, torso, throat, all the way out through the crown chakra. Let your arms reach up towards the heavens. Call out to your personal guides, to your ancestry, to your spirits, to any element of the divine and ether that you work with, and then to divine source as well. Say their names if you work with specific guides or spirits or divine forms. I ask you, divine source, for your guidance and connection and your blessing in this circle. May you help guide me and bless this circle. And feel that above space fill in. And then resting the hands, either heart and belly or heart, wherever is comfortable for you. And then just feeling that circle open and be around you, supporting you. And the circle is now cast. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, the first part we're going to add to our ceremony is the aspect of composting. Um, so, the questions that I gave you guys before is what am I composting right now? So, what am I sending to earth? And you may or may not have done that in ceremony, and it's okay if you didn't. But if you can think of one quality, one thing that you feel like you're ready to give back to source, to be recycled and to move back to you as something fertile, instead of doing this by digging into the earth and burying, we're going to practice the energetic technique of cutting cords and grounding. And so, uh, there's lots of like fancy crystal tools that people use to like cut cords, but like you don't actually need anything. You can just use your hand, like a scissors or like a knife, and just cut the cord that way. Um, Cords can be attached to the body, but they also can just be more around in the aura of the body. So if you don't have a clear sense of maybe its location in the body, it's okay to just kind of have a more general cutting around the body. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to call on the idea that what you'd like to compost, what you'd like to shed and let go and recycle, right? And it doesn't have to be, the biggest thing that you're working on and struggling so much with. It can be something really simple to start with that you're like, I really feel ready to let this move on from me. And I would, for today, just choosing one thing versus, trying to add on a big list of things. You can always add this, you can always do this more. So does that make sense to you guys? Like what I'm talking about by the composting? Okay. So you're gonna take a second and you can have your hands anywhere that feels comfortable. I often practice hands on heart, hand on belly, but you can do belly or both hands on the heart, whatever feels most resonant to you. And just take a moment in quiet and pull up this quality or behavior, habit, whatever it is that maybe it's person, relationship, activity that you're ready to compost in your life. Get it really clear in your mind, visualize it. Mm. And then as you start to clearly visualize it, just take note in your body about where you might feel like a little like ding on the radar. And that ding might be like, I mean, it can feel so many different ways. It might feel like tingly. It might feel like a little discomfort. It might feel like a little twitch. It might be more subtle than that, like an intuitiveness. Like for some reason, I'm just paying attention to this area of my body. Um, and if you're not feeling that, again, we can just do this generally too. But if you do have an area, you're going to move your hand or hands to that area of your body. And almost like you're holding it, like you're kind of like gathering it out, right? Just kind of holding it in your hands a little bit here. And then you can say the words. I think saying things out loud is a little more potent. You can also say it inside your head. And you're going to say, I am composting, and then fill in the blank with what it is. And I cut this cord and I send it to ground to be compost and recycled and to return to me as fertile new soil to grow something new. I am cutting this cord to send it to ground, to compost and return to me as something fertile to grow something new. And then it's almost like you want to it's like you want to pull it and then take your scissors or slice like karate chop hand, whichever feels more resonant, and literally cut it. And then with your other hand, right? And if you're doing something in general, it's just sort of a cut across the aura, like the field of the front of the body, right? Unless you feel like it's in the behind you. Cut that. And then with your other hand, push it away. And then use that hand that you're pushing away and send it down into the earth as if you're pushing it down into the earth. Feel it move down into the earth. And keep thinking about that. You're returning to earth. I'm sending it back to the light of the earth to be recycled, to be renewed, and to return to me as something fertile to grow. And then, you can keep sending it to ground for as long as you feel like you need to. And you might do a few more just like cuts at the body. Whatever words feel potent and useful here, just feeling free to add that. I like to kind of shake it off and swipe it off too. And some quick exhales, like you're blowing. And there might be like a feeling that feels like a little lighter or just like a little like tinklier, or like as if there was a release of some sort when you kind of feel like you've actually, like it's detached from you. And then just again, just kind of keep pressing that downwards, sending it down, offering it blessings, returning to light, returning to source. Sending it to the ground. Shake out the fingers, make sure it's not trapped in any finger. And then when you're ready, returning the hands to the heart, belly, or whatever is resonant with you. And just notice how you feel. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns about that part? Are we ready to move on? Okay. All right. So the next thing is with your incense or your Palo Santo or something that would create smoke. So you're going to go ahead and light that and use your candle to light it. Smells good. So we can use smoke and from incense and from sage or Palo Santo, whatever you're using. Or there's so many herbs you can burn. So those are just kind of 3 common ones, but you can burn lots of them. So this can be used for clearing and cleansing energy. So it also can be used in like the cord cutting. But I'm using it kind of as so there is a way that it sort of does that just in its essence, which is really lovely. I'm using it as a representation of if you if you let the smoke go and you just kind of follow how and look and watch how it expands and fills and starts to wander off away from you, expanding out, right? The molecules of the smoke becoming smaller and smaller until you no longer can see it, right? But it's still like filling and expanding and being carried around you. So it's this like metaphor that we're using this smoke as a symbol for what we want to carry with us in our lives for this next year. Like, what do we want to bring into the world, to bring into our lives, right? So we're welcoming this. And the energy of welcoming is receptivity. So it's just like, if you think of this smoke as like this, like, I am so open to you right now. I am so receiving of this, like coming in and filling my space and filling my life. So here, as you kind of play with your smoke and you move it around your body, and you move it around your space, you can say the word something like, I welcome this into my life. Like, what are you welcoming into your new year? What are you welcoming into your life? So I welcome fill in the blank into my life. May it expand. May it fill my life. I am open. I am bathing in this new quality, situation, aspect of myself. And just keep repeating it as if the smoke were it and you're talking to it and just, yes, I love you. You're here. Finally, you've shown up. Go far, spread wide in my life. Be all around me. And adding any words that make sense to you. We'll do this for another maybe minute or so. Is like the essence of this quality, just filling your life, filling your space. Like the Greek conjunction with Jupiter and its new sign, just expanding. It's that quality of expansion. Make sure like get your hair in it. Get your hair smoky. Just like receive it, soak it in. Let your clothes get the flavor. Get your feet. The essence of you, this you-ness that you are going to bring into the world. Let it be totally saturated all around you. You keep saying things like, I welcome this, I welcome this. I am open to this. This is here. It is huge and it is growing in my life. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then when you're ready, you feel like you've saturated yourself with that scent and the smoke. You can put your incense, let it continue to burn, or set it somewhere that's safe. And come back to your body. Kind of feel into that welcoming sense of bringing that into your life. Mm, okay. And then the next thing when you're ready, you're going to get your crystal. And so we're still, this is like to work with during this period when the moon is growing towards the full moon. And you can use this every single month, this same crystal, or you could do a different crystal every single month with different qualities. Um, and so we're charging it with the growing expansion of the moon. And you can keep this kind of every day. You can keep it outside, kind of basking in the moon or in a windowsill. And then it can live on your altar kind of as this magnifying quality of this quality that you want to grow in your life. And then you can keep kind of recharging it and upping it every single month in this phase of the moon. Or, like I said, you can switch it to a new crystal and charge it with a new quality. So you have your crystal in your hand, and we're thinking of a quality that we want to magnify. So the difference between like the smoke and this, like the smoke is like I'm welcoming this into my life for the year, like I'm bringing this in, this quality, and this I'm like this is a quality that I have, and I want to make it really big in my life. I want to grow it. I want this quality of myself, this aspect in my life to grow. um, and so you hold the crystal in your hands, and your hands kind of being the chargers, like they're receiving this energy from the earth, from the moon into the crystal. And right now the full moon is next week. But again, like I said, this can be at any time after the new moon or the dark moon when the moon is growing. And so again, feel the earth underneath your feet, connect to that aspect of earth. And then through the crown of the head, the top part of the head, the crown chakra, connect to the energy of the moon. And so even if you're not outside, visualize the moon beams coming down into the crown chakra, that stableness of the earth underneath your feet, them swirling and mixing together at the heart. And then from there, that luminescent silvery blue light travels out through the arms and into the hands and into the crystal. And so with the growing light of the moon, I am magnifying, fill in the blank with this quality. I'm magnifying this in my life, in myself, in the world. And as the moon grows, this quality grows within me. And this crystal is holding that charge, giving me like a talisman to work with, to receive this energy, to receive this quality. Like a mantra, just repeating this quality over and over, just feeling it fill in you, fill in the crystal, flowing through your body, flowing into this crystal. A few more breaths here. Again, just repeating that quality over and over, feeling that move into the crystal, feel it move out of your hands. Feel it flow through your body. Mm. When you feel like it's ready, it's time. If you need a little bit more time taking it, it's coming and returning kind of back to your own body. Just knowing that that crystal is charged and ready for you. And to can return it either to a windowsill to continue to charge the moonlight, and then eventually placing it on your altar, or you can have it on your altar and just work with it there too. You can also be outside to charge with the moonlight.